Hi everyone, hope you're all doing good. Okay, so this is the fourth round draw for the 37th edition of the Tapology Lucky Bastard game. In the last round, we had 13 players in, and we've still got seven left, so it's a relatively high number compared to some other fourth rounds we've had in the past. We'll just remind ourselves quickly who those seven are. They are Dr. Maxis 2, Great, Love Song, Rigno, Shat, the Dirty UFC Man, and Vazquez 88. So those are the seven remaining lucky bastards. And for this round, we've got UFC Fight Night Arnold Allen versus Mikhail Costa. And interesting featherweight matchup here. We've got Arnold Allen, who, in my opinion, is the more experienced of the two in terms of high level fights. And he's obviously coming off a loss against Gene Silver in his last fight. So, but I think he'll bounce back. I've got him to win by a decision against Costa. Costa, on the other hand, though, got serious power in those hands, and obviously Allen. It's not. It's certainly not impossible. He's could get caught with Costa, but by those hands of Costa, and yeah, it's a very intriguing one. For me, it's either Costa by knockout or it's Arnold Allen by decision. I'm leaning more towards Allen by decision for this one. But you're not here to listen to my rambles. You're here to see who you're going to get matched with in the Lucky Bastard game. So let's get on with the draw. First up is Dr. Maxis 2. Just make sure I'm on the wheel page. Yep. All right, Dr. Maxis 2 first. And he gets one of the co-main eventers, Do Ho Choi. It's Do Ho Choi for Dr. Maxis 2. And, as I mentioned, he's in the co-main event against Daniel Santos. A close one too. It's Choi's more experienced of the two. Um, although Santos does come into this on with a better form, having won his last four. Uh, not a lot to split them in terms of their records and sort of records and experience, in my opinion. But Troy's certainly the one I'm leaning towards in terms of if the fight's going to get finished, it'll be most likely him by a knockout, and he'll usually end it early as well. Um, Pure knockout artist, really, and makes a very entertaining, unpredictable fights. And Daniel Santos as well got serious knockout power as well, but he's got a little bit more staying power to him, I think. And he's never been finished either, which is something that would work in his favour. So I've gone with Daniel Santos for this one personally, but that's a real 50-50 one. So yeah, that's not really an underdog or a favourite, really. But it's close enough that it is just a coin cost one there to start off with. Okay, so next we have Great. Let's see who Great is going to be matched with for tomorrow. And he gets Nikolay Verentenikov. Nikolay Verentenikov there for Great. Verentenikov. Probably not spelt or pronounced that right, so apologies to him. Uh, he's obviously up against Chaos Williams, and again another very close fight. I am, I think Varentenikov is going to take this one at the moment. I think he's very Oh, it's coming into it as a better form, is what I mean. It's sort of coming into a very, I'd say, good run of form, but he is coming off that knockout win over Nico Price, although Nico Price, of course, is a little bit over the hill to say the least, in terms of his MMA career. But Williams, he's going to have to snap that losing streak that's he's on the and again, it's always quite unpredictable when you've got fighters on a losing streak like that. Because on one hand, you think, well, they're going to be desperate to turn things around, possibly fighting for their jobs in the UFC. And then, but then again, it's also you got to think, well, is that streak just going to continue? Um, I think it probably will. I think Varentenikov is just a little bit too powerful for Chaos Williams. But again, I think this is kind of similar to the first fight we had, where it's two very hard hitting fighters in a very close fight. So both um, Williams and Varentenikov have the ability to turn each other's lights out. So it's again another 50-50 coin toss one there for great. So two very close uncertainties to start us off with. Next, we have Love Song. Let's see if Love Song gets something a little bit more, a little safer, maybe. He'll certainly be hoping so. And he gets Cody Brundage. That's Cody Brundage there for Love Song. It's fighting Andrei Pavlovsky. And Brundage is, yeah, let's talk about fighters that need a win. He really does need to turn it around. He's lost his last three. The one before that was a draw. So he's got a chance against Petrosky. He's on a two-fight losing streak himself. And have gone with Petrosky for my prediction, but Brundage is you can never count him out really because he's got wins all up by all sorts of methods. He's got wins by uh knockout and submission. He not often goes the distance in terms of winning. If the fight goes the distance, he's usually on the wrong end of a scoreline. But uh but he's very good at finishing fights, usually early as well. So if um if he gets a chance, he's going to take it. It's yeah, it's a very dangerous fighter. Always a very dangerous fighter, even if I do think Petrosky is the slightly better fighter, you can never you can never really write out a guy like Brundage because of that killer instinct he has. So yeah, I'm still going with Petrosky, and I'm saying that this is probably the worst pick we've had so far from the wheel tonight. But yeah, it's a bit of a wild card one. Definitely a bit of a wild card one, that one. So maybe we'll get one of those surprise submissions or surprise early knockouts, but always a possibility with Cody Brundage in the cage. Okay, so we have next up is Rigno. Let's see who Rigno is going to be paired with. And Rigno gets Nicole Cagliari. Again, apologies for butchering the name pronunciation there. Nicole, Nicolle, Cagliari. There we go. There's a lot of A's and I's in that name. Nicole Cagliari, obviously starting off the card against Joanna Bannon, and in my opinion, I think this is actually a fairly easy win for Joanna Bannon. I've got her to win, but by a very comfortable unanimous decision. Um, Cagliari coming into this on the two fight losing streak. Um, and Bannon is okay. She lost her last fight against Sam Hughes, but again, Sam Hughes not too bad a fighter. Uh, uh, Very much holding her own at strawweight, so it's again not that's not the worst loss in the world at all. But does tend to go the distance quite a lot. Shannon Bannon does have knockout power though. If again, a little bit of a killer's instinct there as well. That if she gets a chance, she will finish the fight if she can. But a lot of hers do go the distance, and she's proven to be very comfortable doing that. And I can't see this one being any different, to be honest. So yeah, I think Rigno's going to need a fair bit of luck, really. I'm just going to double check what the odds were because just checking I didn't misread that because apparently Cagliari is actually the favourite according to the bookmakers, minus 285 favourite. Bannon's plus 235 underdog. So don't quite agree with those odds, but I don't know. What do I know? I'm probably just chatting shit, aren't I? But if the bookies are anything to go by, then Rigno should be fairly happy with that. But I wouldn't feel comfortable in it personally. Okay, chat is next. Let's see what the wheel is going to serve up for chat. Modestas uh Bukauskas for chat. Modestas Budauskas. That is a hell of a name to try and pronounce, and also this I also pronounce. So again, uh, apologies to him for butchering the pronunciation on his name. Up against Christian Edwards, a much easier name to pronounce. Um, and most importantly, though, for the purposes of this game, this, in my opinion, is one of the biggest bankers on the card. I cannot see how Modestas doesn't win this. It's Yes, he did lose his last fight out, but again, he's has such a good run of form before that as uh, as well. So again, that one loss shouldn't really affect him too much. I wouldn't have thought. He has had mixed results in the UFC, but I'm still thinking back to his Cage Warriors days, where he was a very dominant fighter over there. Obviously, UFC is a step up from that, but fighters that come from Cage Warriors into the UFC, they usually do tend to stick around for a while. They That's usually good pedigree um, for being for a long career in the UFC. Um, but yeah, I'm still trying to work out how it's not how is according to the odds is only minus 310. I'd have thought it'd be a much bigger favourite than that, to be honest. But yeah, I think Bukauskas wins this one probably by knockout in the first or second round. So I think Shat's pretty much got certainty there. I'd fully expect to see Shat in the next rounds. The other ones not so much, in my opinion. All 50-50s or slight underdogs. But Shat's the first one I'd say I'd be very surprised if they don't make it through to a hypothetical fifth round. Okay, so just go back to the wheel. Let's move on to the other one first. And the Dirty UFC Man. Let's see who the wheel's got in store for the Dirty UFC Man. Chaos Williams. That is Chaos Williams there for the dirty UFC man. So yeah, that's obviously given us our first head-to-head, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, because obviously, who was it had Varentikov? It was great who had Varentikov. And as I said, this one for me is a 50-50 fight where both fighters are capable of knocking the lights out of the other one. So it's interesting that we've got such a close fight and um, one with one person on each side of the draw, intriguingly, not a head to head or not a double up rather, not because it is a head to head, of course, but um, not two players on the same fighter for the fight. We've got head to head in a close fight, which yeah, could go either way by knockout. And it's I suppose that's all we can ask for in this game, isn't it? That's what we want to see. We want to see close fights with a lot of knockout potential, but maybe for the dirty UFC man, he'd have been hoping for a slightly more certain ride into a hypothetical fifth rounds. Okay, so last up we have Vazquez 88. Let's see. Uh last spin of the week for the wheel. Let's see who Vazquez 88 gets matched with. Oh, Christian Edwards. Okay, so that gives us another head to head. Um yeah, that's obviously just get back to the PowerPoint, but yeah, Christian Edwards for Vazquez 88. That puts him against Shat. Um, and I'll stick with what I said uh about Veretennikov. I'm fully expecting him to get the win in that one. I cannot see how he doesn't win. I mean, yes, Edwards did enjoy significant success at Bellator. Most of his his career has been over in Bellator. But yeah, for me, I think that's pretty much the level he's at. Obviously, making his UFC debut tonight, tomorrow night rather. But obviously, going to see how well he can make the step up to the UFC. But for me, Varentennikov's already a level or two above him. So I suppose you can make your own mind up as how you as to whether or not his form in Bellator from a few years ago now, because Bellator's been dead in the water for a little bit, is going to translate to UFC success. But I just can't see how he beats Varentennikov. I think it's going to be a very tough debut for Christian Edwards. But yeah, as for our sort of lucky bastard game main event, so I'll take your pick there between uh, uh, Badescas, Edwards, and Varentennikov, Williams. There's two head-to-heads there, so you can take your picks. So what our unofficial lucky bastard game main event's going to be. But anyway, that completes the draw for the what is it now, fourth round of the Tapology Lucky Bastard game. I'll just run over those names one more time. Uh, we've got Dr. Maxis 2 with Du Hu Choi. Great with Nikolay Varentennikov. Love Song with Cody Brundage. Rigno with Nicole Cagliari. Shat with Modestas Bukauskas. The Dirty UFC Man with Chaos Williams. And Vazquez 88 with Christian Edwards. So, bit of an interesting, bit of an interesting draw that. And also interesting that assuming one of the two head-to-heads don't end in a draw or a no contest, it pretty much guarantees a fifth round because two separate head-to-heads. That's going to be at least two people in, unless, of course, like I say, is in one or both of those fights, it's a draw or a no contest, in which case there'll be a loser. But But yeah, it's guarantees at least two people through to a fifth round. So it's very, very unlikely that this game ends this week. And but to be honest, I don't think there'll be many of you getting through, to be honest. I think it's a lot of it's 50-50s or underdogs. So I think the wheel's been rather mean this week. But anyway, all that leaves me to say, of course, is good luck to everyone in this game. If you've got any real life bets on this card, good luck with those. And until next time, let's so long for now. We'll see how many of you there are, but at least two anyway. But so long for now. Take care of yourselves and be lucky.